What is going on, guys? What is going on, 27 Squad? Welcome back in to another video, and we have sort of a sports slash political topic that I do want to talk about, and I thoroughly am so appreciative that you guys accept my political commentary. I'm not a political guru, but I do love politics, and I do love talking about politics, and I try to steer away from that on this channel due to the divisiveness and the separation that it causes when you talk about politics on something that doesn't have to do with politics. But in this case, it does. It's sports related. I want to talk about it. So hopefully you guys tune into this video and enjoy it. If you guys think you'll be triggered in some sort of way, I don't think you will be. But just a fair warning, just click off this video if you guys, I don't want to hear anything in the comments, okay? I don't play that stuff, okay? I'm not going to block you or anything, but I just don't play that stuff. I'm not going to respond to you because you just sound like a clown, you commenting on a video that you clicked on about me talking about politics. If you don't want to hear it, don't watch it. So, the recent news is that the Washington Redskins have announced that they are going to review the name change of the Washington Redskins. Now, let's go a little bit into where this all stemmed from, right? I know big talks about it happened while I was about a junior or senior in high school. This is around 2013, 2014, 2015, somewhere around there. I want to say around there. This was something bigger in the news because I remember talking about this actually in my social studies class back in high school. You know, we had to always come up with topics once per week. I think it was like every Thursday. We had to come up with a topic to talk about in the news right now, in the world, political or economic or anything like that. And I remember a broad topic, including myself, that, one of the, all the students really came up with was talking about the Washington Redskins name change. And at the time, I really didn't mind it. But I guess that was sort of a racial insensitiveness. But I'm not going to come out here and say like I'm so social justice, stuff like that. You know, guys, from the bottom of my heart, I am not that. But I think in this sense, in this situation, I think the name deserves to be changed just because of the slur and what it really represents. And I know back in those days, 2013, 14, 15, there was a lot of media guys that were for the remain of the name. There were guys that like interviewed Indians, Native Americans, interviewed Native Americans asking them if the name bothers them, and they were like, oh no, it doesn't bother me at all. And it's something that, yes, some very few, it probably won't bother them, but at the end of the day, it is a racial slur, and I am not very sensitive to that type of stuff. You guys know if I'm for the name change, it must be bad because I'm not a snowflake in any sort of way. I really don't support social justice in any sort of way, but at the end of the day, this is racially insensitive. I'm not going to say it's racist because maybe in the roots of it, maybe it was, but I don't think now here in 2020, guys are really talking about the Redskins as being a racist organization, and I don't think they are a racist organization. As far as the name change, I think it's racially insensitive. I think we should go on and change the name and really try to make everything equal, right? Everybody that wants full equality, actual equality, not social justice equality, actual equality, between, white, black, Spanish, Native American, Asian, right? We have to treat each other the same. I don't think anybody would love love a team named, I don't know, what's a city that doesn't have a team? The Portland Crackers or something like that, right? Something crazy out of nowhere that's a racial slur against white people or black people or for Spanish people, the Manhattan Spicks or something like that, right? So obviously you don't want any racial slurs steered towards anybody, and I know a lot of people don't really like change, and I think that's really the biggest thing here. They don't want to really change the name because just they don't like change. I don't think it's because they're racist. It's because they really don't like change, and I understand that, but I just think we're moving forward with sort of, making everything equal. And I know everything that's going on in the world is kind of taking us like steps backwards, but I think this is a step in the right direction in my honest opinion. And you look at, I watched Fox News today on YouTube, and they interviewed Meryl Hodge. If you guys don't know who he is, they interviewed him about the situation with the Washington Redskins name, and he said he grew up in, I believe it was Idaho or Iowa. I think it was Idaho, and he said that there was a lot of reservations over there, and he had a lot of Native American friends. He said Indian, but I mean, they're not Indians. The only reason why they are Indian, why people call them Indians, still to this day for whatever reason, is because Christopher Columbus went on an expedition looking for India, and when he landed when he sailed to the United States, he found those people and he thought they were Indian people. They're not Indian people, they were American people, what soon to be American people, which now we call them Native Americans, but they are not Indians. So just a little history lesson for you guys. They aren't Indian whatsoever. That's just what Christopher Columbus called them because he thought he discovered India. He thought he sailed to India, but in all essence, he discovered the United States of America. So, Meryl Hodge was talking about how he had a lot of Native American friends and where he grew up, and there was two schools, where he grew up, and one was a regular public school, and one really represented the Indians about, the Native Americans, and he said he really didn't have a problem with them whatsoever, and he thought about the Redskins name and really didn't think anything of it, and I think that's pretty much the essence of it is. Nobody really thought anything of it, and we talk about it every day. I talk about they're in the NFC East. We talk about them every day. The Redskins, right? We don't think anything of it. And I think that's what really it's all about. We should think something of it. We can't just be throwing around these names like they're nothing. And, they do mean something. They do. And I don't have a snowflake mentality, but still, if someone were to name a team, like I said, like the Manhattan Spicks or something like that, I would kind of be like, hey, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and be offended and cry over it, but I'm just going to be like, hey, that's kind of weird, it's just weird, right? It's just weird when we all preach equality, we all preach this is a free country, and we all, should be united as one. We shouldn't look at another, heritage or race as inferior, and when you're putting a racial slur in there, you're really kind of looking at them as inferior. So I'm okay with the name change. Now, I want to make something very, very clear. This will probably not solve too much, right? After all I said that it should be changed. I agree it should be changed. This will not change too much. Why? Because I don't think there was a racial intention behind it. I don't think they really kept the Redskins name because they're racist or whatever it is. And let's talk about the sponsors, right? FedEx is now threatening to leave the Washington Redskins as a sponsor. As you guys know, their field is named FedEx Field. They are their main sponsor, and they're actually threatening to leave the Washington Redskins organization because they want the name changed. Where were you when you sponsored them? Okay? Their name has been the Washington Redskins since their existence. You sponsored them. You said, hey, this Washington Redskins team, let's sponsor them. If you really had a problem with them, or the name, you wouldn't have said anything at all. So don't come out here saying that we're threatening to take out your sponsorship because we don't agree with your name. It's been there since you sponsored them. And what I think the real meaning behind this is people were starting to go after FedEx and, the cancel culture, right? They're trying to cancel the Washington Redskins. I don't know how you could even possibly imagine that. But, as what people do with YouTubers, they're now starting to do with the team, and they're going after the sponsors of these organizations that should be canceled or individuals that should be canceled, and they're going after their sponsors. I don't have any proof of this, but I can bet you that people were going after FedEx, talking about the Washington Redskins. Well, how can you sponsor them? You should unsponsor them. And now FedEx had to make a statement and had to take action because of this. They don't want to lose money. It's all about money. Daniel Snyder, now one of the worst owners in the NFL, mind you, said that he didn't want to change the name back in 2013 or something like that, right? That it would never change. And now there's going to be a review, right? This doesn't really change much. If you think you're solving a racial, problematic situation, I know a lot of, social justice warriors like to use the word problematic, right? I don't think anybody's crying at night for the Redskins name. I know it's very, very racial insensitive, but I don't think anybody's sitting there and saying, what a country we have here, and I'm just gonna cry myself to sleep every single night because of this. I don't think this really changes much because this is all about money. This is a money move. This is not a progressive move in the right direction as far as from the sponsor standpoint. They don't care about you. They care about losing money. And this is definitely a PR move from FedEx. They want to remain an ally by the world right now, the cultural world right now, the shift that's going on. They want to get on that bandwagon and make sure they're not canceled as well. They have some tough competition in UPS and Amazon and the post office, which I work for. I mean, they don't want to be, behind the pack here. So they want to make sure that everybody knows that they're an ally. And hey, we're for you guys. We are for you guys. We're going to make the Redskins change their name, even though we sponsored the Redskins while they were still the Redskins, because they've been the Redskins since their existence. And so this is what I'm saying, man. These sponsors don't care about you. They care about their money moves. And they're only changing it for that. So anybody that's thinking that, the FedEx is on your side and they're an ally for the movement, they are not for the movement. They're for the movement of their bank account. So that being said, I'm all for the name change, and I have a suggestion for the name change, and it's not my own suggestion. I would have thought you should name it after like a tribe or something. I know the tribes aren't very easy to say, but one of them that's really good is the Apaches, right? Apache is what there are some military helicopters are called Apaches, and Apaches is a tribe of the Native Americans, and that would be a cool name to be the Washington Apaches. That would be pretty cool, and it would still keep that Native American tribal vibe, or the Native or the Washington tribals, right? Something still Native American. Of course, you don't want to steer towards like the Chiefs or something like that, right? Because we already have that. That would be my guess, right? But there was an Instagram account, Ultimate Effects, and I will show the pictures up now of this amazing idea to call it the Washington Warriors. And I love this idea. And we don't really have a lot of teams called the Warriors besides Golden State. Warriors are probably one of the most generic names when you're starting a team anywhere. When you're playing football in the backyard, or you have a school. I remember back in elementary school, we had a dodgeball team named the Warriors, and the Warriors are such a generic name, but it's never used in sports. It's only used once. So I would be a-okay with naming it the Washington Warriors. And you gotta look at these uniform designs. It still keeps the burgundy and gold, because I don't think they should change that whatsoever, because then you would have a whole brand to change. I don't think they should change their whole brand, just the name. Keep the colors, keep because then you would have to change traditions, right? You can't call it the burgundy and gold anymore. Obviously HTTR is going to be changed, but still you don't want to change the whole culture of the team. You just want to change the name. And I love the uniform ideas. I love how you got that W in there, and for the Warriors, obviously, in Washington as well. And then you had the Pentagon in there, which is obviously in Washington, D.C. It's the primary defense of the United States. Is where the headquarters of the United States Defense is. So, that would be an awesome historical, but yet still somewhat very cultural to the Washington Redskins. So to the Washington area, so the Washington D.C. area and the America's history. So that being said, guys, I mean, I'm all for the name change. I think it should be changed. I just don't think it will have the effect as a lot of people who say it will. I don't think it's like the ending racism, because I don't really think there's too much in its stock. There's not too much stock in this for racism, but that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you guys think about the name change? Do you guys want it? Do you guys not want it? Do you guys have any name suggestions? I want to know your thoughts in the comment section below. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you guys are new, and I'll see you guys in the next video.